Join us as we delve into the story of PridePads, a tale of innovation, compassion, and unwavering determination. Together we will explore how one organisation is making a profound difference in the lives of Cameroonian girls and women. In the remote areas of the world where silence blankets the fields and paths are untrodden, lies a hidden struggle. Young girls on the cusp of womanhood face an age-old dilemma intensified by poverty. The lack of access to menstrual hygiene products, a barrier that not only challenges the dignity of girls and women, but also hinders education, stifles potential, and perpetuates inequality. This scarcity not only shackles them in a cycle of shame and insecurity, but also makes them increasingly vulnerable to horrific realities. The journey into womanhood is marked by shame, fear, and exclusion. The lack of education surrounding menstruation, coupled with limited access to sanitary products, turns a natural process into an obstacle. The absence of basic menstrual products leads these young girls to resort to pieces of old cloth, unsanitary and unsafe, exposing them to severe health risks and infections. This primitive method, a desperate attempt to manage their periods, keeps them in constant peril, affecting their overall well-being and potential to flourish.
Especially with us in this northern region, the hygienic nature is they don't know how to use pads. So when they are menstruating, they are ignorant. What they do, they just cut pieces and they use. And from there, they start having infections. They start having a lot of problems. They will come and complain, Madam, I'm facing this problem, I'm facing this problem. But when we talk about the PridePads, and they start using them, what happened? Most of them, the infections stop. They do not have those difficulties again.
But amidst the darkness, a beacon of hope shines. PridePads. This extraordinary initiative aims to rewrite the stories of thousands of girls, gifting them not just sanitary pads, but also the chance to reclaim their health, dignity, and future. By providing accessible and affordable menstrual pads, PridePads is playing a crucial role in reducing the risk of infections among young girls, who previously had no choice but to use unhygienic materials. With their health safeguarded, they can focus on their education, aspirations, and the beautiful journey of growing up. From a prince's vow to a powerful mission, PridePads Africa was born. A beacon of hope in a society where menstruation can be a barrier to education and where gender inequality festers. This is their journey. This is our mission, because no country can ever truly flourish if it stifles the potential of its women and deprives itself of the contributions of half of its citizens.
So just imagine if a child is menstruating every month, you miss 3 days every month. That child will lose a lot, and that it will affect the result of that child.
I think one of the most exciting things that we learned when we were in Africa this summer was that girls are now graduating alongside boys at the same academic level. So while we were really focused on just getting them to graduate, now we're seeing that they're performing academically higher than their male counterparts. And in fact, one girl that was using PridePads she graduated at the top of her class. So we couldn't be more proud of that.
When I was menstruating, I went to school, I used private pads. I took the first of our class and I was instead proud of it. It helped me in so many ways.
The problem is always that of they are feeling shy because the parents do not early enough talk to their girls about their system to let them know that at a certain age a child will be menstruating, either the girls or the boys, that they will have changes in their system, and the parents have not also made it a point to let the girls know that menstruation is natural and very normal to any girl. So we are out to let the girls know that menstruation is the pride of a woman, and that if you are not menstruating, there's something really wrong with you. And we encourage them to cancel that taboo because they feel so ashamed to talk about menstruation.
I have 3 kids, 2 of them are daughters, so it has always felt important to me to help girls in other countries finish their education. And when I realized that menstrual pads could be an obstacle to girls finishing their education, I felt very compelled to be involved. But I was initially really moved by the fact that I read a book called Half the Sky, and this book was about sex trafficking girls around the world, and I didn't realize what a problem it was, and I didn't realize that a simple solution of giving a girl a menstrual pad could keep them from being sex trafficked. And so at the time that I read the book, I had my hands full with 3 kids. I couldn't do anything about it. And so fast forward about 10 years, I met Ajume, and he was involved in this project, and I knew I really had to be involved.
About 2 decades ago, or about 20 years ago, to make it much clearly, I took a bus, a public bus from Douala, heading to my kingdom through Bamenda. And on the way, the bus came to a sudden stop. And a number of women came out of the bus following a teenage girl, a girl who must have been, and this is speculation, who must have been about 11 or 12 years old. This girl was surrounded by these women, including 2 nuns. And they were touting at the little girl who was more confused than they were. I heard words like, "How dare you took a journey when you ought to be staying in one place? You are a disgrace to women. Don't you have a mother?" And so when I realized what was going on, because I was sitting next to her, and I realized that where she was sitting was wet with blood. So I went back into the car, took a paper roll, unrolled it, came and quietly and gently gave it to her, and then told her that nothing is wrong with her. And I said this with a smile. As I was saying it, I can see the girl's face clearing, and she left, went and cleaned herself. I went back into the bus, cleaned where she was sitting, and as I was walking back into that bus, I said to myself, I'll never allow this happen to any girl, not to my daughter, not to anybody's daughter, not to any girl, anywhere. And I was saying anywhere on earth,
So we are producing pads for women, and we are trying to produce the pads. If you look, you can see what we are really doing. Under we have the paper which holds the pad, which holds the menses. It doesn't leave it to flow out. So we arrange the papers, then we use the gum. So there's a machine, we use the gum to spray it. And then after that we use this one, which is the pad itself, what we have already called. We call all the 4 materials together. If you see here, there are 3 different materials. There is one under which looks like a paper, then the one inside which is thicker, which absorbs the blood, and then there is another one on top which also absorbs the blood very well. So we spray the machine. After spraying it, we put this one, then we spray it and put again this one on top, which is cotton. This one is cotton, which helps the woman not to feel pain when she is on her menses, because this one is lighter, so it doesn't give pain. It is lighter and it is good for the woman. It helps her to move and to do her activities, because if you use what is stronger, you will not be able to move and do your activities. But with this one, it is lighter and it helps to do it.
So within production, we really wanted to inspire the women to really work autonomously and kind of as a unit themselves. So our goal is to kind of be on the back end of things. So a lot of these women are working day to day, knowing the best procedures in which they are able to produce and be better able to educate the students that they're visiting in schools.
Sterilization is the last process for our production, that we put them in the unit, and with time 45 minutes as we are removing them, we are packaging and we are sealing. We package them and prepare them for sealing, and then after that we put in cartons and keep them for distribution as the time will come. Yes.
One of the important missions of PridePads is to reduce the stigma around menstruation, and so it was interesting to visit Africa for the first time and see that there's a lot of taboo around discussing menstruation, so it's just not done. So girls will get pregnant and they don't even understand their period before they get pregnant.
Now they are feeling very, very free to tell their teachers that this is what is happening, and then PridePads is also doing an amazing work by keeping some of the parts in school. If they accidentally menstruate, they will just get the pad from school and use.
I was free. When I was menstruating, I was free. I was not afraid. I was instead proud.
When you are in school, when you feel about like you are menstruating, you can go and tell to your teacher that you are menstruating. They can go and take the pad that are kept in the office and give you. You can change it and come and sit in the class with your friend freely.
And I will say, like some of our daughters, they are complaining about the heavy flow. That if they call it that, the quality, if they can to modify the quality, that when they are having the heavy flow, this one it cannot support them.
I will say it was very important for us to go to these schools and have girls stand up and say, these are some things that could be improved with the pads. And for me to hear somebody tell me that this pad is from a person who never had a pad before to a person who now has a pad, to be able to articulate, it could be better, that actually was quite heartwarming for us, because at least we know they're using the pads and they're trying to give us feedback about how we could make it better. So we're now innovating and trying to figure out ways that we can actually make our pads a more superior product to provide even better pads for the girls and women that we're supporting.
And it should stay here in Gaoundere. They should not go away. We equally have schools beside us that are pleading that when they see PridePad coming to our schools, they say, wow, We would also like that Pride Pad to be coming to our schools also and help our girls, children in school.
Trying to envision the future of PridePads is a very complex question. We initially started this project to touch a small percentage of people in the northeastern region of Cameroon in a city called Ngaoundéré. And we have been able to see the results of our efforts there growing and compounding every year. Hopefully, as the project continues to grow and our employees continue to make pads, we envision taking this program into other parts of Cameroon. And eventually it would be amazing if we could expand into other parts of Africa as well. The problem of sanitary pads and menstrual hygiene education and the stigma that surrounds that in all parts of the world is something that we would like to address in as many places as possible. But obviously it's a ripple effect. We've thrown the stone into the pond and we're watching the ripples go out into other communities around Ngaoundéré. And as we continue to work on this project with the help of our fundraising and our donations that we've been receiving from the Rotary and people like yourselves, we are able to have a larger impact. So we're hoping to continue to take this mission farther and make it a bigger project.
When you think about the small impact that a donation has on somebody's life, I think it really broadens our perspective, and it encourages us to look at something greater than ourselves and greater than the community that we grew up in.
Well, I never knew exactly how to participate on an NGO or start an NGO, start a nonprofit in another country, and we have figured it out along the way. I knew I needed to be involved. I knew I wanted to do something. I didn't know how until I met Ajume. That was my moment where I felt like, okay, here's my way of giving back, getting involved, and donating my time. I didn't know what that would look like at the time. And so we have a board of very gifted, talented, and fun people. We've all learned a lot from each other. We had no idea how to buy a menstrual pad making machine in India and get it shipped to Africa, but we figured it out together. And so we are always looking for people that want to join our board because we need help and we want to scale this project to reach more and more girls, especially as we are seeing its effectiveness. And so if this is your Ajume moment where you feel like, okay, here's how I can give back and here's a perfect avenue, we would love to have you join us.
But obviously it takes a village, and we can use help from all members of our team and people in the community of Boulder. We always are looking for volunteers. We love to have people get involved in this very important project. When we help lift other girls and women up in other places around the world, it makes the world a better, stronger place. And I think we can affect change much more easily when we come together and collaborate to help other people who are less fortunate than ourselves.
And the fact that it is free, that's why you will see most parents are going for it. Because they don't have, when the child is coming to complain, some of our parents here, they are angry because they don't have the money to give to their children.
It helped us, it helped me and my family, because we take the money that we're supposed to use and buy the private pad, we use it to buy other things that we are in need of, and leave and private pad and leave the one for private pad. Use that money and buy the other for other things that we are in need of.
PridePads is not just a product, it's a movement. A movement towards safeguarding the health, dreams, and the future of countless young girls and their families. Join us in this extraordinary journey. Let's tread the path together, turning silence into voices of change, despair into hope, and helplessness into empowerment.
And so it's just, I don't know, for me it's about the giving a little bit to make a bigger impact on someone's life than you think you're going to have. So, donating $12, right, doesn't seem like a lot for some of us, but for those girls over there, $12 is the difference between being able to go to school for a year and having to take time off because they don't have sanitary equipment and sanitary products to help them stay in school. So I think for me that's been the most impactful thing, is seeing how our micro donations or our bigger donations have these macro impacts. And it's just, I don't know, for me it's really moving.
And the impact resonates beyond just the individual. Families, unburdened from the financial strain of purchasing expensive sanitary products, can now allocate their resources more effectively. Money saved is channeled into buying food, availing medical care, and fulfilling other essential household needs, fortifying the entire family structure.
If you want to donate, you can donate through our website, Facebook.
I think it's really easy for us on the individual level to feel like our donations don't help, or we can't see the direct impact of them, and for that reason we don't want to donate to these companies that are doing a lot of good.
No matter how little it is, it will help us so much.
As the sun gently sets over the vibrant landscapes of Cameroon, painting the sky with hues of hope, let us carry forth the whispers of transformation echoing through its majestic terrains. Here, in this land of profound beauty, the harmonious rhythm of progress beats in sync with the empowered pulses of countless girls. Thanks to Dr. Ajume Wingo and the dedicated team at PridePads Africa, the shadows of limitation are dispersed, birthing a radiant dawn of education, dignity, and boundless potential. Within the embrace of this newfound light, every girl is a beacon, her dreams unfettered, her journey unyielding, and her spirit forever unbroken.